With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
From the 30 on second down, Allen. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. On play action, Allen. Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Allen going to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
They run for the first time with James Cook. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Odafe Oweh so quick, and he gets to him there behind the line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Allen. He'll check this down to Hines. He's got room at the 30. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Allen's throw is complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback.
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. takes it at the 7. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Hey, middle.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. A man who missed all of 2021. This is J.K. Dobbins. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. The Ravens at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit the sack to Von Miller. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy in?
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
First down, here's the run with Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
2nd down, this is Wilson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Allen now on the sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 1 yard is the gain. And the Bills are going to have it 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Reggie Gilliam, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it is the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
23 yards, the final tally.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and goal, Allen. This to Hines on the drop-off. Touchdown, Bills. Nyheim Hines. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard, where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, There's no way they can stop us.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or two towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Out to his left. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Allen's throw going to be caught by McKenzie. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The Bills on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And again, it's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Jackson. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
They're going for it with Dobbins. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
It's caught inside the 25. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll find Everett there, complete. Touchdown! Gerald Everett, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here. Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Jackson on first down. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense, because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. From the 6. And he returns this to the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A very solid gain of 27. Cook fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
2nd down and goal. Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Gerald Everett, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bills take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Calais Campbell on the stop. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Cook again. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie, his 1st rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. Johnson odds poke free. Football's out. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Here we go, here we go.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 28. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. They'll try the draw here with Dobbins. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
In motion comes the tight end left. Again, it's Cook. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
25 yards that time. They'll run with Cook, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, if this defense has any hopes of getting back into this game, they've got to start right here and keep these guys out of the end zone. That's a good step 1 on that play.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here, because they were sharp in moving it down the field, but sometimes you start thinking like a touch.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen. On second down, Cook looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
The kick by Bass is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Hold on, ready? You change it.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Open man is Duvernay. And he is going to have a Ravens 1st down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give him a new set of downs. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Report! 180! 180!
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And now here is another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3. And they will take a knee here. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Buffalo, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.